So today we're going to be working on sending our horse from the hindquarter. And when I say sending my horse, it's a lot different from lunging. I don't mindlessly lunge my horse just for the sake of lunging them. And lunging's good, you know, to exercise your horse and tone your horse and that kind of thing. But as a principle, I don't want to make my horse do any mindless exercises. I want my horse to be engaged and a willing partner in whatever I'm asking her to do. So when I send my horse in a circle, I'm very purposeful and methodical about where I want my horse to place their feet. For this particular exercise, I'm going to send my horse in a circle by driving her from the hindquarter. I like to have that hindquarter right up underneath my pony. You can see the hindquarter is the largest muscle in the horse. And so that's going to be our propulsion system that we can use to spring our horse forward. And so when I put forward energy in my horse, I want it to be coming from my hindquarter. I want that hindquarter to reach deep up underneath my pony and propel my horse forward. And so I'm going to build off of our moving the hind in exercise by picking up on my rein here, asking my pony to move that hind in, and I'm going to push her up into a trot by just adding a little bit of pressure back here by moving that hind end forward until she gets into a trot. Now the moment she gets into that trot, I'll take the pressure away from her to let her know that she's made a good choice. So I'm going to rub her for that there and give her an opportunity to kind of soak that in and figure out what I'm asking of her, because this is the first time that I've done this particular exercise with her. So again, I'm going to come back to this hindquarter. I'm going to start with picking up my rein. Good, she's really yielding that hindquarter. Now I want to push her into a trot here. I'll pick up my steady stick and add a little bit of pressure. See if I can maintain that trot with a little more consistency. Okay, she's made a couple of good attempts there. I'm going to take a deep breath here. Let her know that she's made a really good choice here. All right, so I'm going to yield that hindquarter, put a little pressure, and I'm going to send her right into her trot, right from the hind end. There, very good. And you see how that hindquarter starts to stretch a little bit deeper underneath her. I mean, it's not a deep engagement, but we're moving in the right direction to incorporating that hindquarter in a purposeful and methodical way. And so now I'm going to bring her to a stop. And I'm going to go in there and rub her, let her know that she's made a really good choice. Really important. You know, traditionally when we lunge our horses, we kind of lunge them from the front end and send them around me. And that's okay, but what I want to do is I want to encourage that energy to come from that hind end. And so when I send her off here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push that hindquarter around, get that hindquarter to scoot around, and then drive her around from that hindquarter. I really want her to come around me and move that hindquarter up underneath her. Oh, that was really good. She's made some really good decisions here. Good girl. And so remember, that hindquarter is the most powerful muscle in our horse. And so we're going to have a lot more longevity if we encourage our horse to travel with engagement of that hindquarter rather than putting all of their weight on their front end. And so by driving our pony from the hindquarter and sending them into a circle, it's going to be an easier transition when we're in the saddle and we drive that hindquarter up underneath us and underneath our horse in order to keep that weight on the hind end.